Hey Danny, how you doing, man?
Well, Lewis, I'm very well. I normally say I'm well, Lewis. How are you? But I thought I'd change it up a bit. Get the
Nice,
get the old blood pumping.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled by that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is the final of these specific series of Whispers, because we are talking about the last episode of season 12 of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
This episode is naturally The Timeless Children, which
Well,
is a shit title.
Yep. Yep.
Is written by Chibbers, is it?
It's
Directed by
Jamie
I'm not
Magnus Stone.
Jamie Magnus Stone. That is a great name. Jamie
really
Magnus Stone,
is.
if you're listening, you've got a great name.
It really is. It's a Lord
starring
of the Rings
Jodie
name.
Whittaker, Bradley Walsh. Yeah, Bradley Walsh. Tosin Cole. I can't remember the last name. Mandip Gill, that's the one.
And Sacha
And also
Dhawan.
other people. Oh, Sacha Dhawan.
I
I'm
love-
kind of a little bit in love with Sacha Dhawan. He's great.
Yeah, he's my man crush. That's right.
Yeah.
I've said it.
Do you have an opening statement?
I do, yes. Okay, so a finale that really just gives us more questions than answers. I have mixed feelings on it. On the one hand, some interesting things happened, but what about the other hand? There you go.
What about the other hand? I've
Yes.
never heard a more apt question than that. My opening statement is an exciting episode full of twists and turns. I'm disappointed with a few things, like the lack of development of secondary characters, and the lone Cyberman's ending, and this weird timeless child twist. But all in all, I enjoyed it. It was a thrill ride, and I enjoyed being thrilled. Though I don't enjoy what this episode did to the canon.
Oh my god. Okay.
So initial impression?
Um.
I've deliberately not asked you about this because I know it's a very contentious episode of Doctor Who, so while we've been chatting and stuff outside of this show, I deliberately haven't mentioned it.
Okay. So we're on creepy room questions now. The doctor slash protagonist is the chosen one cliche thingy. Blah blah blah. Oh, I'm important. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, dumb as hell, because it's... right. The Timeless Child reveal is not an issue in that, like, it's great, yeah, have some kind of a world-altering reveal halfway through a story, fine, but it's an issue in that why did nobody else know this? If the information was readily accessible from this big old Time Lord computer...
Yep.
Why is this the first that anybody is hearing about it?
Yes.
There's lots of little instances of, like, if this is the case, that Time Lords can regenerate because they've all got a little bit of the Doctor's DNA in them, then why could River Song regenerate? Because the implication was she could regenerate because of her exposure to time travel.
That's
or they
true.
were travelling in time when she was conceived or something. So that has always been the implication, that the Time Lords became what they did through exposure to the time vortex.
That's it.
And yet, now it's, oh no, it's only, everybody's technically the Doctor's, like, fifth cousin, or something.
Yeah. So
I don't
it's-
like it. It unsettles me.
I mean, why would... Right, okay, so why would they allow the Doctor to run away from Gallifrey if she's this, this command node for the entire race? It's like, oh god, what a stupid reveal. They could have
It is a super stupid reveal.
They could have done it. They could have done some pretty cool things. They could have made Susan come back or something like that. Anything other than, I knew it. I could see it. I know it's going to be the Doctor, isn't it? She's going to be the fucking chosen one, because that's what the Doctor's been about. It's the entire universe
this also fucks
revolves
up the
around this person and no one else.
This also buggers up Matt Smith's, that thing when he was on Trenzalore, and he was like, oh, this is my last regeneration, I'm never ever going to do it, I'm just going to die now, and then the Time Lords were like, ooh, have some more regenerations, and then he could but if he was always the Timeless Child, then he should have just been fine forever.
Yeah.
Because how much of the decision to make this reveal a thing was some BBC head honcho going, well, we want to keep Doctor Who going endlessly, We want to keep... We've got the perfect show to keep it going till the heat death of the universe. Let's make sure we can do that.
Lewis,
did that factor into it at all?
Lewis, I think we both know who is responsible for this abomination.
Is it the Chibster?
It started with what do you call it? What was it? What was it he did? What was that thing he tried to do? What was that episode I remember seeing that was shite?
Orphan 55?
No, it was before that. It was in RTD's era.
Are you talking about Stephen Moffat?
No, I'm talking about Chibbers.
Right, yeah. I don't know what the old Chibbers episode was, but like... Right, okay. All this Whispering into the Void series, I've been talking about how I am glad that Chibbers is doing weird shit and seeing if it works. And as much as I don't like what this has done to the canon, I'm glad he's done something weird. I'm glad it's something different. I'm glad he didn't play it safe, even though I don't like this particular thing that he's done, if that makes sense. Like, I like that I have the ability to walk, but I don't like that... I wouldn't like walking from my house to Cornwall.
Yes.
If that sort of makes
shit.
sense. Okay, let's have a break from
Do you know what it was? Do you know what I remember? It wasn't even in Doctor Who.
What?
Do you know why I know that he wasn't the man to do this? Because he wrote Who Shot Simon Cowell on Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway. That's why I know he is
really?
not. He is. Yeah, he is.
Oh my god.
He is not equipped. He is not equipped to take on this show. Oh god. yeah. We'll get the guy who wrote that.
Let's have a break from the complaining. Are there anything from this episode that you liked? Anything that really tickled your pickle?
Yeah, but it all came from the other episode, and that was interesting. And then they just tore it down. The lone Cyberman was just shot in the back of the head. I mean, the only interesting thing.
Yeah, that was dumb as hell.
It's like, alright, okay. So what's happening here? And then, oh yeah, he's dead. Like that, boom.
Yeah, I think if I was ever in a situation where I had the reins for Doctor Who, I would do a lot more Cyberman stuff. I think it's really underexplored. And I thought, during this series, this whole time, all these episodes I've been saying, I really liked what they've been doing, loads of Cyberman stuff. Lone Cyberman is a really fascinating, interesting character. And then just at the apex of his sort of journey, almost, he gets shot in the back and shrunk, and that's it for him. Yeah. he gets shrunk down, blue-tacked to a grenade, and that's the end for him.
Yeah.
What? It's ridiculous.
And the Cybermen are now the Daleks for some reason. It's like we don't want to convert anyone. We want to destroy all human life. It's like, why didn't they just do the Daleks this season? Why wasn't it the lone Dalek? That would have made much more sense, because they have such a bigger tie to Gallifrey than the fucking Cybermen.
Because you could have brought back that lone Dalek from that Peter Capaldi episode where they shrunk down and went into the Dalek.
Yeah, they could have done.
Where that Dalek at the end of the episode charged off to Skaro, and the implication was, it's going to kill all of its brothers and sisters, sort of thing. They could have brought that one Dalek back, and that would have been a great thing to see in this lone Dalek thing. But instead they chose to do this Cyberman thing. Because for me, the horror of the Cybermen is they're trying to do what they believe to be right, but because they're doing it without sort of emotion and empathy, it's really brutal and horrible. Because like the whole the thing that drives the Cybermen is we can all live forever, we can live in harmony, and it's all these beautiful ideas that like in an ideal world sound great, but it's a twisted parody of that.
Yeah,
that's what the Cybermen have always been for me. But that is not what these Cybermen wanted to destroy the universe for no apparent reason. I just didn't. And we didn't even discover what it was the lone Cyberman was doing when he was like hacking at the chests of the ones from the sarcophaguses on the cyber ship.
And we'll never know now because he's dead.
Yeah. Oh god, what a bloody waste.
What a massive exposition dump it was. It was like 40 minutes the Doctor did nothing but fucking wander around a computer and get told the story by Sacha Dhawan. Fun fact, you know the woman who played Tecteun? The sort of first
yes.
the first incarnation of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met her. Yeah, she's lovely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there you go. But
Cool,
anyway,
cool.
this fucking shite.
I liked the redesigned Cybermen Time Lord hybrid things. So hybrid. But I liked the Cybermen Time Lord hybrid things. I thought they looked cool. It was dumb that Sacha Dhawan was like, oh yeah, I've had time to intricately design these new Cybermen outfits and capes and Time Lord hats. But I liked like the tiers that went straight down and they had like sort of frowny face mouths and their helmets were quite cool and I liked it. It was cool. But it was also flawed in the Cybermen have never been able to convert Time Lords. I mean, there was a sort of a slight hint that maybe they'd have been able to in that one episode with Matt Smith. But it's kind of... Say a Cyberman gets its head blown off, and it somehow it regenerates. It can't grow the metal back, right? So, are the circuitry that's in the head... Oh, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. Maybe the regeneration energy has been geared towards non-organic material as well. I don't know. But whatever it is...
Perhaps.
It's... Lewis, I'm sorry if I'm coming across as a negative Nelly on this one, right? But Chibbers had set up so much. Like, he brought the Cybermen back. They were interesting. Sacha Dhawan pops out of a bubble, and it's like, oh my god, what is going to happen? I have no sympathy for him, because he set this up. He completely on his own set up this massive event, and it was up to him to bring it home, and he didn't do it. So, you know what? I don't care. Do you know what I think, Lewis? I think I have let off this show for far too long. I think I've been too easy on this show in this season, because as interesting as it was, this just completely fucks it up. This is...
Yeah, it really does.
It's the equivalent of making a nice chili and then Chibbers coming along and then shitting all over it. It's like that's the only analogy I can think for this. And there's a random
also,
TARDIS out there, disguised as a tree.
Yeah, just as a tree or a house or a... There's loads of dumb things in this episode, but like the TARDIS is... It's like there were lots of... It felt like this was kind of low effort in a way. It's like he's put a lot of thought into the build-up and not very much thought into the final execution. Because it's just like, how are they going to get off Gallifrey? Oh, shit, yeah, alright, underneath there's like a basement with TARDISes in it. That's what we'll say. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just kind of ridiculous and weird.
And...
Right, do you have any...
We still don't know... Look, there are still so many questions that we don't know the answer to.
Yeah, loads.
And then it's Doctor Who will return in Revolution of the Daleks. It's like, alright, okay, so now that you've destroyed any interesting qualities of the Cybermen, you're now going to turn to the Daleks and turn the Daleks into... Yeah, the Daleks are converting people into the Daleks now. Switch that up. The lone Dalek.
The Daleks want to upgrade the universe. Oh, God. It's like...
Don't give the lone Dalek what it wants. It's an Irishman from fucking... what happened to Brendan? Who's Brendan? We don't know anything about Brendan.
Brendan, did you not get that bit? Would you like me to explain that bit?
Please explain that.
Brendan is the Doctor. That was the Doctor's memories from being in the Time Lord FBI.
Oh my
but
God.
Instead of the memories just being in the Doctor's head, they were like disguised and twisted as if the things that happened in the Doctor's memory happened in like 1950s Ireland instead of on Gallifrey.
So there's like 1 million regenerations of the Doctor. So the 30...
Well, yeah, in theory there's anywhere between 13 and 13 billion.
That is ridiculous.
Because do you know what this is? This is however many years down the line they can say, oh yes, I am the Doctor. And the Doctor goes to Smith and then they land the TARDIS and walk outside and there's 100 Doctors and they're all like, oh yes, I'm the Doctor, I'm the Doctor, I'm the Doctor, I'm the Doctor.
Oh my god.
It really annoys me.
Do you know
They've
that?
just removed so many interesting characteristics of so many different characters and things, and it infuriates me.
Do you know the only saving grace of that big reveal? It means
What?
it means that the comic relief episode with Rowan Atkinson could be canon. and you know Peter Cushing.
I mean, yeah.
Peter Cushing's movies as well. They could be canon.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. The Curse of Fatal Death.
Hell.
Oh god.
I've got all these dumb questions that I've written on the list that are all things like like I've got one here. It'll be a shame if that's how the lone Cyberman actually dies. And then that's just it. It's like little things that happen in the episodes that I thought, oh, that doesn't make sense. Oh, that's a bit weird. Because I've got so used now to... Because, like, Fugitive of the Jadoon was a brilliant episode. Fantastic, like, subversion. Fantastic characters and dialogue. And the Jadoon were great. And now it's I got used to enjoying and looking forward to Doctor Who again. And now I'm just annoyed.
Yes, I know. I know. I was pissing my pants with excitement for this episode. And of course, Chibbers fumbled at the finish. He got cramp in his leg
God.
and fell into a mound of cowpat. And oh god. What else?
How did the Jadoon get into the TARDIS? Because the TARDIS was in flight.
Oh shit!
That's
yeah,
like the whole thing
yeah.
of
just at the end.
They just teleported in. Oh yeah, shit! We've got to tie this back into the whole Ruth thing, right? Okay. The Jadoon teleport in. You are under arrest for your crimes, and then teleport her to. Oh, this is an asteroid, but we promise it's not Demon's Run from that other series.
Fuck off, man. It's the season finale, and you end it with just. You're under arrest, bitch, and then she just teleported, and then that's.
Oh god.
Oh god. No
so...
emotional resolution or anything like that. No character payoff. It's just haha, you're under arrest. Stay tuned for season 13, where none of your questions will get answered.
Oh god. Because there are so many questions you have after this. Because not only is the Cyberman stuff inconsistent, the Time Lord stuff is inconsistent. The lone it all really. I feel like I can't even put it into words how frustrated I am.
So the doctor just leaves Gallifrey, just leaves it destroyed and ruined, and about 1 million. Sasha Wan presumably escaped, obviously, because they're not going to kill the master.
Yeah.
They don't have the balls, so he's gone. He'll come back at some point. I don't know whether he got any of the Time Lord Cybermen with him, but they probably will. But the Doctor just leaves Gallifrey, and then just, rather than rebuilding our home, maybe I should try and sort things out, because I know where Gallifrey is, and now it's relatively easy to get to. I'm just going to leave it, and that's fine. And I'll just travel the universe, and all my friends are back on Earth. Is she going to get them? Did she say I'll just go and pick them up, or was it no? I'm just alone now.
We're presuming she's gonna go see them. I would presume she'd go and see the fam, as she called them.
Yeah.
By the way, I mean, I get that. I like that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is sort of socially awkward in a way, but like saying, "Oh, me fam, me TARDIS fam," it's cute, but it gets annoying,
Yeah, it's cute. I think it is.
Also,
go on.
As a slight aside, why inside the Cyberman suits? Why were they so roomy? Why? They're not much bigger than actual people. Like, you see people stand next to a Cyberman, and it's the approximate size of a human. The implication being, it's like, okay, we've taken your brain and your heart and your liver and your kidneys and stuffed them in this metal suit. So why is there all that room for, like, a human to stand within a Cyberman suit? That was a really dumb thing. Like the fact that none of them really had an issue with, okay, we're going to open up what is essentially the world's most morbid coffin. We're going to just pour human remains onto the floor, climb in. Where did they put the body? Where did they put the body from inside the Cyberman suit? Just jettison it into space or something? When you start to think about anything for more than 3 seconds, it's just,
They're now just robots because Graham, Yaz, and the other supporting cast could just go in them and just man the suit. So there should be...
Yeah, because the implication... Because they said at one point or another, oh, well, we're going to have to take the human bodies out.
Yeah.
But then that is never addressed at any point. That would be kind of an interesting thing in some way, to watch the gruesomeness of, like, family-friendly Graham opening up a cyber suit and being like, oh my god, and just, like, scooping out guts and whatever. And then what are they going to do with that?
Exactly.
Is there an incinerator on the cyber ship that they've got, like, a chute that they just open a hole in the wall and shove it down?
Oh, God. Oh.
It's when you think about any of the things that happen in this, that it just makes me so frustrated. When you think about it for more than 10 seconds, you're like, oh yeah, that was cool. Hang on. No, it wasn't. What?
The revolution of the Daleks, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does sound interesting, but so did the Lone Cyberman.
I know.
Revolution of the Daleks could be interesting. If somehow Davros is back or something and they overthrow him as Lord Emperor or whatever, or like the Dalek Emperor, and there's like a coup, or there's a revolution, or a civil war on Skaro. That would be interesting. I'd really like to see that. But it's not going to be any of them things. It's going to be some terrible, not quite as interesting version.
It could be... Do you know what it could be? It could be, like, Remembrance of the Daleks. You know where that? it's like Davros has been taken back to Skaro and you don't see the Daleks for a while, and then it's like ideologically they've split into like two factions, where the renegades believe that using humanoid sort of other humanoid bits of flesh to make Dalek mutants is an abomination, and Davros's argument is that he is allowed to be emperor because he created them. It's like that. So it's like an argument over like racial purity. It's like that. That was really interesting, and it was such a good episode, and it was like it was set in a, is it Trotter's Lane, where the first Doctor and Susan were.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. It might have been, yeah.
And it was like in Coal Hill School and stuff like that. It's like Unit was back. It's like almost like a sort of big sort of full circle story of the entire series. It was really, really good. So like if not something exactly like that, but if something, two Dalek factions who are basically the same, but have a slight chromosome off. That would be really interesting. But no doubt, do you know what? I was going to say, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but he's had his chance. He's going to ruin it. He's going to destroy. What a great title that is, but fuck it. I just feel deflated, Lewis.
Yeah, me too. I have a sort of almost a lore-based question. I mean, Christ knows we've fucked the lore over as many times as we could in this episode, but fuck me. The Cybermen, they're like the Doctor Who answer to the Borg in a weird way, aren't they? So, like, once they get hurt in one way, they should never get hurt that way again. Like, they adapt and they improve and they upgrade, that's the whole thing. So, like, how come this old man has got so many tricks about how to kill Cybermen? Surely none of them should work.
Yes, I agree. But, you can only ask questions like that if Chibnall has got the actual answer to it, which he doesn't. His answer is will probably be, well, the plot wouldn't move forward if that's. It's like, see, if any question, if someone asks you a question and the answer is the plot wouldn't move forward, then it's fucked.
Yeah. It's something like I forget the exact name for it, but it's something like the idiot paradox or the idiot plot hole. If your plot is broken because one of your characters is an idiot, then it's terrible writing.
I was really excited as well.
Yeah, this is a really depressing episode, isn't it? Like, I hope the Better Call Saul one's more exciting than this.
Because that's actually some good fucking telly. I mean, it's like that's why I'm glad that we've got another Whisper to do, because we can at least be 98% sure that we're gonna get a decent fucking episode each time we watch it. Do you know what I mean? If your audience is just guessing whether it's going to be mediocre or shite, you know that you've got something wrong. Do you know what I mean? Better Call Saul's audience is much lower than Doctor Who, and yet the quality is just a million times better.
Yeah, I understand, because there are a few things in Doctor Who that are like quite goofy, and it's like, okay, yeah, I can get behind the goofiness, because I know it's sort of for kids, and the goofiness has always been a part of Doctor Who. But like, it's just when you start making things goofy for kids, great, but when you start making things dumbed down, then I'm less on board with it, because you don't need to dumb it down. Things can have a second meaning that's more complex, or plus that whole thing about how the Master absorbed the Cyberium into his heart or whatever, and then that was never addressed again. Surely that should have made him far more intelligent, or the Cyberium. What a wasted potential. Because I was like, I
don't even know what they were trying to do.
Yeah, it was like a liquid computer or something, and it's like, well, there is so much more you could have done with that, but instead we had a what's it called? A simulation of Percy Shelley's Villa Diodati.
Yeah, something.
Oh, right. Goodness me. I am disappointed by this. There were lots of things I liked. There were lots of pretty things, and as we always say in this series, at least it was shot really nicely. At least everything looked pretty, and it did. But there were lots of things that just weren't very good. Chibbers rolled the dice and got snake eyes.
No, but he didn't roll the dice. This is the thing. He planned this. This was intentional. This was...
he rolled some loaded dice and got snake eyes.
And he probably got an okay one, and he fucking tossed the dice to the side and then just took a round of shite.
He's taken craps a bit too literally.
Do you know? I think we should add sort of like a semi-segment dependent on the episode that we watch. It's like, what would we do differently? Because we it's only fair. We complain and we shout and scream and we say it's shite. So how would you do it differently, Lewis? What would you try and improve or change?
Right, well, there was way too fucking much going on.
Yeah.
There were too many secondary characters for me to give a shit whether any of them lived or died. Like, that soldier bloke, have exclusively him. Don't have the remaining humans from that little encampment. Send them off in a shuttle to Alpha Omicron B or whatever, and then that's their new Earth or whatever. Great, do that. But, like, I would not have had this timeless child thing. I think, in theory, it's a brilliant idea. The Doctor has forgotten one of their regenerations because of they were in the Time Lord FBI. That's a great story, but why are you pairing it with this Cyberman stuff?
Yeah.
I would have the Cyberman stuff be the overwhelming arc, and have Sacha Dhawan be aligned with them. And yeah, sure, do have a double cross, maybe, between the lone Cyberman and Sacha Dhawan. But why have Sacha Dhawan shrink the lone Cyberman and then tape the lone Cyberman to a grenade?
Yes.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. God.
What would you do differently?
Okay. So, what I would do is, I would maybe hint at the Gallifrey stuff, but the lone Cyberman stuff, it would never meet. I wouldn't even have the Master crossover, because we've had so many stories with the Master and the Cybermen.
For a brief second, I did think, what if Rassilon was the what was it? The lone child? What was it? The timeless child. What if Rassilon was the timeless child? That could have been quite interesting. Like, Rassilon was, what was he, like a military leader during the Time War, and then he was a military leader at the founding of Gallifrey, then he died, then they resurrected him for the Time War,
and he was
Lord President for ages.
That's right.
And now the Master presumably killed him. Because he got jetted off Gallifrey by Peter Capaldi. So, Rassilon's just out there somewhere.
Yeah, I would have kept the Cybermen very... I wouldn't have... The Cybermen don't work as a big universal threat.
No, they don't.
They work as
a planet colonization unit.
Yeah, and it's just sort of parallel evolution almost, as Peter Capaldi put it. And it's like it's so much better if you have a human being or a group of human beings who are just trying to do good, and it works out bad. That's more interesting than just they're robots and they want to kill everyone. It's like
you're right.
It cheapens how great they are as characters. And if I was going to do the big crossover thing where the Cybermen it would have been the Daleks. It would have been the lone Dalek, and that would have It wouldn't. I don't know if it would have been better, but it would have made much more sense to me.
Because essentially, what the Daleks and the Cybermen represent is like the Daleks represent like an extreme far right dictatorship.
Yes.
And the Cybermen represent sort of a very violent communism.
Yes.
And like an extreme far left. So having a lone communist is just a bloke. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't really mean anything. Because communism, it works on the idea of a group of people doing things together, but having a lone communist, it doesn't work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The lone Cyberman, it worked because he was not behaving in a Cyberman style. He was behaving as like a rogue agent almost, and that was interesting. That worked, and I liked it.
But he was held up as like a pariah. It's like.
It was like the messiah of Cyberman civilization.
Yeah, it's like if it's based on communism, you would understand that religion has no place in it whatsoever. It's like that is the last thing that they would resort to.
Yeah.
I don't know, but anyway, that's what I would do, and that's what you would do. Just because I feel as if we do it, I complain a lot about this show. And I think it's I think it's only fair that it's like, well, if you complain so much, how would you do it differently? So put your money where your mouth is, type thing.
Should we do some closing statements, Cocker?
Yeah. Okay. I'm surprised, but not about the direction they went with the big reveal. I'm really disappointed that the Doctor is the Timeless Child, because it was very obvious, and I saw it coming a mile off. They could have done so much more with an interesting topic like this, but they didn't. So, 2 out of 10.
What would have gotten a 1?
Do you know what? 1 out of 10.
Oh God. My closing statement is like tinged with the fact that I just finished watching it and I quite enjoyed it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm along for the thrill ride, and I got to the end and I was like, ooh, thrill ride.
And you thought about it.
And now I've thought about it and I'm angry. Because my closing statement is a good ending to a good series. But then looking back, it's like, this wasn't a good ending. And it was an okay series at best.
Yeah.
Like, this was not a good ending. I'm not a fan of this ending. However, I did prefer this series to some other recent series. Like, I preferred this series to season 11. I'd rather have some great, some crap, rather than reliably okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Chibbers had the courage to stand up and have a go. I just don't like the go he had. It's really pretty. I'm impressed with how the cameras are working on this show. It's really interestingly shot. But that is good. But if that's the redeeming feature, then it's not a very good. If that's the one redeeming feature, you know.
I love this show so much.
Yeah,
I've always watched Doctor Who since I was very, very young. Since it came back on in 2005.
Yeah, me too.
And I feel as if I've been making excuses for this season. It's like there were some fantastic episodes, but it's like and because I wanted to do so well, I watched it, and when I'd finished it, I was starting to write it, and I was like, well, I mean, it was interesting. I mean, at least he tried. It's like, no, that's not fucking good enough. It's like, you cannot just take a mound of nonsense and then just throw it at a wall and see if it sticks. That's the phrase I keep coming back to. It's like,
yeah,
you can't just. There's no respect for the lore. It's just like, oh, that could be cool. Let's just do that and see what happens. It's like, no, that's not. There's no thought put into it whatsoever, and it's just really disappointing.
One day, Dan, we'll have to co-write Doctor Who. We'll try and get to that point in our careers where we can walk into the BBC and co-write Doctor Who.
Yep, and then inspire millions of podcasts telling us how shite we are.
Telling us how they would do it better. Yeah.
That, I mean, you know, Chibnall's as big as a Doctor Who fan as anyone. You know, it's the show has been written by fans for since it came back on, and this is his way of doing it. And that's that's fine, but I hated it. I thought it was shite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's closing statements. I think that's it. Have we got some shilling?
Yeah, we'll do some shilling. That'll cheer me up. I'm on Instagram at O'Hiram. I'm on Facebook at Daniel Kerr. I'm on Twitter at Kerzo2000. What are you on, Lewis?
I am on Instagram at Lewis_Brindley. I'm on Twitter at LewisBrindley4. I have a Facebook page, Lewis Brindley. The podcast is hosted by Podomatic. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Deezer. Please, whatever service you're listening to it on, give us a rate, give us a review, give us a like, give us a heart. I don't know how Deezer works. Do whatever the positive thing is for Deezer.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yes, we've got.
It helps us get up into the charts, helps more people listen. It would mean the world to us.
We've also got a YouTube channel.
We do?
We've got a PayPal donate button. We're on Patreon. So please, 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 we love making these videos. Anything you have, anything you can spare would go a million miles. So
yes, it'd be amazing.
So yeah. Well, that's the end of the Whisper for Doctor.
It is.
Season 12. So no doubt we'll have some complaining to do when season 13 appears like a massive cataract.
God, what a weird image.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for listening to these little whispers. Now we are moving on to Better Call Saul. I highly recommend the show if you haven't been watching it. I haven't been watching it, so I've caught up, and it's really good. We're going to be doing whispers about that. Check them out.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. We love you.
Yes,
we love you all 10 of you.
We love you all.
All 10 of you. We love you so much.